Hi, welcome to Valerie's Place. Come on in. I like to think that while this is my house, Valerie's Place is our home. It's a destination hub. We can share lifestyle, cooking, fashion. What I really want to do is share stories. I want to build this place together with all of you. You can sign up today, go to valeriesplace.com, find out which tier you want. They start at $2. The first week is free, and then come on in.
We're in separate locations today, but most importantly, we are in the ladies' home right below me, Valerie Bertinelli. Valerie, how are you?
I'm good. Hiya, Todd. What's funny is that I'm actually on my screen, I'm above you. But I'm more interested in who's sitting next to you. Because on my screen, who's sitting next to you is someone I absolutely love. Introduce them.
Well, the way I'm going to introduce this man is I'm a huge fan of music, and I worked in a record store called Sound Warehouse in suburban Chicago in the 80s. And my mom gave me a ticket stub from a concert at Poplar Creek that cost $10 to see this man, and that was a bargain. It's my favorite musician, Jimmy Kimmel's favorite lead singer. Please welcome the inimitable Huey Lewis.
Huey!
Hi, everybody.
I'm so happy
So,
you're
Huey,
here. You've done many episodes of Hot in Cleveland. You were Victoria's love interest. I was so jealous. But not only I want to just say something personal about you, because I don't think we had ever met before you did Hot in Cleveland. And when you came on the show, you were and are the most down to earth, interesting, cool, like everything you could imagine about Huey. He has all the good things. And even this, you and Wendy are such great pals that one day you went missing. And I'm like, where's Huey? I thought we were going to rehearse. And Wendy says, oh, he went to the pharmacy for me. He's going to pick me up a few things. Like, what the hell?
Well,
like the most premier rock man. Go pick you things up at the pharmacy? I had no idea. Anyway, hi, Huey. I love you.
It was method acting. It was method acting.
So
I was playing her love interest, really. So I go get the medicine, right? Makes sense.
It does. Do you remember how many episodes you did?
Yeah, I think I did 4, but and everybody asked me about. People love the show, and you think, what is it that made Hot in Cleveland such a hit? How was the ever hit show? And there's this, but the truth is, it's a lot of things, isn't it? I mean, it's first of all a great idea. The idea that these ladies have to land in Cleveland and they're from Hollywood. That's a great premise to begin with. Secondly, the writers were fantastic, and the writing is fantastic. Thirdly, are you kidding? The cast: Betty White, Valerie, Jane Leeves, Wendy Malick, and the guest stars with, just everyone, all so many guest stars, but and then of course it takes all the little details, which I suppose is production, Todd. Yeah, so I guess you get some of this credit, but in other words, it's everything, isn't it, that makes a show great.
And you were a big addition to that.
Yeah, and yeah, I didn't hear you that well that time.
I can't hear you, Todd.
Oh, I can't hear Todd either.
Oh, no. The wonders of live. Wait, did I just hear you?
Well, I don't know. I'm hoping you did. Now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Huey, when we asked you to do the show, had you done an audience show before? Because you had acted, but did you do a multicam before?
No, and it was a completely new experience, and it's remarkable how different the types of acting are. Because I played Billy Flynn on Broadway for 222 stints, and so
Wow.
I mean stage acting, film acting, single camera, multi-camera, they're all remarkably different, isn't
Yeah.
it? Valerie, do you find that? Yeah.
I agree totally. Each one has a different kind of nuance to it that is a different muscle that you use as an actor. And then you add into that you're used to being in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people live singing. How you remember all of those lyrics, I don't understand. And yet, we do shows in front of audiences where we were, well, if we're lucky enough and we're not me, you can remember all of your words. But I still don't understand how you do a 2-hour show and remember all the lyrics to your songs.
Well, because you do the same show for a long time. I mean, it's the same thing with a Broadway show. It takes you, what, 4 or 5 weeks you got to rehearse for 4 weeks, and then
Yeah.
you go into the show and you're like tunnel vision, freaked out for another 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
then it's the most fun you ever had in your life. Then you could wake me up or wake somebody up out of bed, and they could just jump up and do the show.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, but have you ever gone up on your lyrics or gone up on lines? Not for our show, like I did all the time, but and what do you do? Do you panic?
Well, no. I mean, first of all, in a live concert performance, it's not so evident, really. You forgot the words or whatever, but the drums are pounding and it isn't like a dialogue thing where you go up on a dialogue where it's really bad,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's happened. It happens. I'm sure it's happened to you. It happened.
Oh God, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm afraid. I mean, I would love to do Broadway or do off Broadway, but I'm so afraid that I just don't have a 2-hour memory in my brain to remember all those words.
Honestly, though, when it becomes part of you, right? I mean, I actually, and a musical, because we have our own musical, Heart of Rock and Roll, that we just had on Broadway for a while, and I actually think that
that's my cat. I'm sorry. I'm going to go shut him up.
Oh my God. So wait, Huey, tell the story about that musical, because that was a journey to get on to Broadway.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's really hard. I mean, I was going to say that I think because musical theater is so demanding in terms, you got to dance, you got to sing, and you got to act.
And singing 8 shows a week
the
is
most
really
rewarding form of artistic expression, I think, and it's incredibly collaborative. Most specifically where you stand, you need to be over there or here, or you're going to get run over. In terms of, so it's very collaborative, and it's not enough to be good in a show. You have to make others better, and because the show really only as good as the weakest link.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful experience, I think. Valerie, you could be,
well, not in musical theater.
You should do it. You should absolutely just pick a show. There's a bunch of them out there, and you'd be, and it's once it becomes part of you. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's like playing the same scene all the time, right?
And you get to find different,
and you find new things in it.
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
Yeah.
That's great. So, so you when we got you on our show, the first episode we did was called "The Sex That Got Away," and I don't know if you remember that you and Wendy were at they were all at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame event, and you guys were convinced, or at least Wendy was convinced, you guys would pick up where you left off. And Johnny, he felt like a character who had lived life. Did that remind you of anybody in particular?
I don't know anything. I have no idea what you're talking about, Todd.
Did you have fun poking fun at the rock and roll star image?
I mean, I loved it. And the final episode was just tremendous. I mean, first of all, we have Bob Newhart, and I shared a dressing room with Bob Newhart for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Now, how great is that?
Yeah.
And Betty was unbelievable. And I have these pictures because I live in Montana of wildlife, and she's mad for wildlife. And so that was unbelievable 2 weeks. And the idea to make fun of the Huey Lewis character was just a bonus. It was really great, really great.
I have a question from some of our people in the live chat. Where do you think Victoria and Johnny are now? Still together?
Yeah,
shooting a Lifetime original musical?
Definitely. I mean, definitely. I mean, I love Wendy Malick. I mean, who doesn't? But
oh, we adore her. Yeah.
And we love working together. She's just fantastic. And we actually
you have amazing
we
chemistry.
planned some television stuff that surprise didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, love Wendy Malick.
Oh, here's a not a question, but just this also proves yet again someone else has had an amazing experience with you. Huey, saw you many years ago in concert in Maryland, front row, and you were nice enough to sign my CD cover insert, and they still have it. Thank you, they say.
Wow. Okay.
That's so sweet.
I don't know what to say. I don't actually remember that.
No, you're supposed to say you do remember that.
Oh, of course I remember that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It just shows that you go that little extra mile for your fans. You're going to sign their CDs. You're going to, make them feel like, and I cannot believe that I've never been to a Huey Lewis concert. I'm really pissed off about it. But there's a lot of concerts I didn't get a chance to see it in my lifetime. But are you hanging out at your ranch now, just living life?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much, I fish a lot. I'm a fly fishing fanatic.
You fish? Oh.
So I fly fish a lot, and I still do stuff. We have I talk a lot now, and people like, for some reason, like to hear stories and stuff. So I do some of that, but basically I play golf and I fish.
Fly fishing. That's it. That's always been so. I've tried it. It is so hard to do. It takes patience.
Yeah.
There's meditation involved. I mean, I would love to be able to try it again. But did it take you a long while to get that rhythm down, and then you just kind of like chill while you're waiting?
It's and it's of course it gets you close to Mother Nature. I mean, and that's really the thrill. Being, for me, I'm not traditionally religious, but I am spiritual, and for me, I feel closer to God, whatever that is, when I'm outside. And I love being in nature, and fly fishing is connected with nature. Yes, you can just walk by the stream, but try to outsmart one of Mother Nature's creatures, and we all catch and release. I'm not pretending that we catch it, but it's not fun for the fish, but it's a way to connect with Mother Nature in a deeper way, I think. And so I've been involved in lots of conservation stuff now. We raised a bunch of money for the University of Montana and a fisheries chair, and I do a lot of work with the Bonefish Tarpon Trust for saltwater fish stuff. So I've really decided I dedicate myself, not when I'm not fishing and playing golf, to conservation, and that's kind of what I've been doing.
Have you always been a patient man, or do you find that the fly fishing has just grounded you and given you a little bit more of that?
I was never patient. This has helped me immeasurably. I lost my hearing 8 years ago, so I can't sing or play. I'm when I hear you now, I have my little transcriber. And
I love that.
Honestly, I have to look at my transcriber because, I can hear you sort of, get some of it, but anyway, my hearing is so bad. At 8 years, it's been 8 years, I haven't been able to hear music at all. So, you got to do something in life, and my kids helped me initially. I had a terrible. When I lost my left ear. Uh, I mean, this is kind of not a very cheery story, is it?
No, but you know what? We all want to hear it. We want to hear what you've been going
Well,
through.
I'll
What
try and
what
make it
you.
brief. I lost my left ear 35, 40 years ago, and then my right ear bailed. I mean, I'm sorry, I lost my right ear 35 years ago, and my left ear bailed like 8 years ago. And now I have a cochlear implant in one and a hearing aid in the other. And through technology, I'm able to converse and that sort of stuff. But I miss music, obviously, and I miss the circus that it was, the camaraderie and the fun and all that stuff. And I see my ex-colleagues out there. I must admit I get a little jealous, but
Mm.
like Tico says, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What's the biggest, like, have you noticed anything, like, has anything changed in your life that you've noticed that's become almost more important since you dealing with the hearing loss? Have you found other hobbies that have been more interesting to you that you had never done before?
Yeah, my relationship with Mother Nature, outdoors, and conservation is. I mean, if I had still hearing, we'd be doing 100 shows a year,
Wow.
and
Yeah, yeah.
so I mean, there's a silver lining to all these clouds, and this one was enabled me to really, and Valerie, you're quite right. I used to be, pushy, and now. I'm much more laid back and much more appreciative of everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I think
You
that
know,
that gratitude will get you far.
Valerie, I want to tell you about how special this guest is. My sister and her friends in Illinois went to his concert, and I told Huey that they were coming. And so he was lucky enough, he was nice enough to they were lucky enough to get backstage passes. And Huey came back after performing. All of these people are looking for Huey and looking for a little bit of time with him. And he walked back and he goes, "Where's Todd's sister?" And he
Huey.
found my sister and their friends and made that night the most special night, the most special concert that they've ever been to. That's
Of
how
course you.
great a guy this guy is.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I loved when they said that, Johnny Rivera was coming to play because that meant Huey was coming to play. And I can't believe it wasn't more than 4 shows because I just always wanted you back. And I know it made Wendy really happy when you were there too.
Yeah,
But
and Todd, let's be honest. Anybody who does what I do or what Valerie does has got to like the attention a little bit, or we wouldn't have done it to begin with. So, I mean, that's the same thing we have, all of us, really.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
it
It's fun to
is.
make people laugh, to make people cry, to make people feel something. It's really fun.
It is, and I do think of it, I'm glad you brought that up. I think of it in a way that sometimes it makes me feel selfish because the feeling I get from making someone laugh or helping someone get tears out that they've been holding on to by doing a sad part or just making someone feel more of being in a community and making someone feel seen. I feel like it does so much more for me. Like I get so
Yeah.
much out of it that I almost feel selfish and like am I doing this for me or am I doing it for somebody else? But yeah, the attention, it feels good, especially when you feel like you've brought some sunshine to somebody else's life.
100%.
Yeah.
So I have a few
What a
more.
great job we have, right?
What a great job you guys have. And obviously, I'm part of this podcast because I'm going to break in very late into this business. I think I'm going to be, I think I might be able to go into Les Mis. I think, Huey. I don't know if you think that maybe, I don't know, maybe. Huey, favorite song to perform? What was your
Favorite
favorite?
song to perform? Wow. Um, I mean, it's tempted to say Power of Love because it's our most popular song, I
Mm.
suppose. But I used to, if this is it, I'm going to say if this is it.
Mm.
It's and what was your did you have a because you're a big baseball fan, right? San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, I'm definitely
And,
a Giants fan, and I'm from San Francisco, so we sang anthems for them. It's a wonderful way to get great seats and meet all the ball players. And so, yeah, I'm a Giants fan.
and I remember I was watching the All-Star game yesterday and I saw the national anthem and I kept thinking about when you used to sing the national anthem, which made me super excited to ask you this question. Is there anywhere or any concert in particular that was your just really stuck out as a great place to play or a great concert and one of your favorite performances?
Well, yeah, lots of those. Paris with Springsteen and Geldof as special guests, and we jammed in at Bercy in Paris. It was a great night. Went out for
Whoa.
dinner afterwards and all that. That was a great, that was a fun one.
Hey,
There's
did
a
you
yeah.
for the when you went to these baseball games and would sing for them, did you ever throw out a first pitch?
Yeah, I've thrown out several first pitches
Did it make it?
in different places. Yeah, the anthem. One of the things that's kind of a neat thing that, and I always used to mess with the anthem a little bit, like on Joe Montana's. We sang when the 49er anthem when they retired Joe's number. Because Joe and I are pals, and we sang, oh, say could that old Joe Montana play? and we got a lot of flack for it when the land of the but and so one thing we did in Kansas City, because when Joe went to Kansas City, he got traded to Kansas City, and his first game, they asked me, us, if we would do the anthem. And Joe called me up, said, "Would you do the?" I said, "Sure, yeah, okay." So they were in Kansas City, and we do the anthem. And at the end, I went, "And the home of the Chiefs," we sang, and it's become a thing. This is
Oh,
now
really?
30 years later, but in Kansas City, and they did an article on the guy called me in the newspaper because they had the Super Bowl 2 years ago or last year, and you can hear it on the broadcast. And no matter who sings the anthem, other than the Chiefs, all the Chiefs fans say Chiefs, and they do it in all the sporting events in Kansas City. And the reporter from the Kansas City Star interviewed me and said, "Do you know that you started this?" I said, "No, I had no idea."
Oh my
But
God.
it's kind of a neat thing. And the other thing he
I'm gonna
says, which was
keep an ear out for it next time I watch a Chiefs game.
oh, what's that now?
I'm gonna definitely keep an ear out for it next time I watch a
Yeah,
Chiefs
yeah.
game.
Anytime you see a Chief game, you'll hear it.
I
It's
am.
interesting.
I am. I think
Yeah.
we lost Todd.
We lost some funny
We
audio too.
lost Todd. He's gonna try and come back in. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the other thing about the anthem, which
Yeah.
is interesting, and it mentions it in this article, is that in the Super Bowl anthems and the big national anthems are all lip synced, always, and always have been.
Oh,
They're
they
all faked.
are.
Even Whitney Houston's famous
Is that
anthem
because
was
is
lip
that
synced.
is that because of the time delay?
Well, I don't know, but we always sang it live, and we tried. At one time, they wanted us to do it, and this article points out they talked to the guy at Kansas City, and he says the remarkable thing is that Huey Lewis the News sang it live because we said
Wow.
"Land of the Chiefs." He says that's the only time he can remember somebody hadn't pre-recorded it. So, and I remember all it's a kind of dirty little secret, but all the Super Bowl anthems, all those things, they're all pre-recorded.
Okay, I want to get to some. Huey, do you have any funny stories about Betty White on the set?
Oh, she was so sweet and
Yep.
so down, just so genuine. It's hard to believe how genuine and sweet Betty was, to everyone, to every
Yeah.
single person.
Yeah.
And I remember she couldn't hear very well, and I was
Mhm.
hearing fine back those days. And I remember thinking, oh, that's too bad she can't hear well. I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Oh my goodness. Well, you have adjusted incredibly well. That's for sure. Oh,
Yeah,
Todd's back. Yay.
it's
But
like
I
it's
It's
like
it's
think that's
tech,
because of your attitude. I think
okay,
it's
Todd.
because of your attitude, Huey. You have this attitude of, well, I think, a lot of the way we grow as we get older, we kind of mellow out and we understand what the important things are in life. And it looks like you've definitely chomped onto that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a kind of half full guy,
Yeah,
glasses half
same.
full. The music I like is happy music. I like happy music. Generally interesting to note that the happiest of music comes from people who have nothing.
Mm.
And the complaining stuff comes from, I don't know, rich white art students, I suppose, or something, I think, the blues is something that you play to get rid of the
The blues.
you celebrate in the face of adversity, as it were. And
Hmm.
that's my favorite kind of music. And that's kind of how I live my life. I'd rather have a good time than a bad time.
Same, dude.
now
Hi, Todd. I'm glad
since
you're back.
I'm so glad to be back. I started sweating a lot during that brief respite.
And it's not because of our heat
Huey,
wave.
so Huey, you've obviously gotten involved. You had your musical on Broadway, which the reviews were outstanding. So it must have been a lot of fun for you. Anything like that coming up around the corner? Do you have any other projects we should know about?
Well, we had a TV project that just, yeah, unfortunately, in Hollywood, yes means maybe, as you guys all know, there's always there's always another hoop you have to jump through,
Yep.
So, so I don't know. I got some stuff. I got some ideas at this point, but nothing I can announce, as it were. I mean, I have
Okay.
a little golf tournament that I do with Peter Jacobson called Golf Party. We do it at Monterey Peninsula Golf Club. It's basically the AT&T Pro-Am, the celebrity part of that, pinched off, and we do an all celebrity thing. I mean, and musicians, celebrities, golf pros. It's a 3-day thing, and it's a benefit for First Tee, and it's really fun. I mean, we've been doing it few years. Well, we sold it out last year. This will be our second year. We've been scheming on it for a while, but this will be, and we doubled the field this year. And a lot of great. I mean, Ray Romano and Darius Rucker and Lucas Nelson and Bill Murray and all the AT&T guys. And it's really fun.
How fun.
When did you start golfing?
Well, actually, in Texas, we stayed at the let's see, where the Byron Nelson is, the Four Seasons, right there where the Byron Nelson tournament is, and we got there on a day off, and we got there that evening, and that next day had a show, and I looked out my window, and there's a golf course, and I said, "Hey guys, let's go play golf," and and I don't know, it became an obsession for a while. I read where Ben Affleck said he doesn't play golf because he saw what it did to all of his friends. I love that. I just love that. But
um,
yeah, so it turns out that golf and touring make a ton of sense. When we
They
were doing
do.
We Are the World, we would take breaks, union breaks, every 50 minutes. And oh my God, I'm talking to Willie Nelson, comes up and goes, "I hear you're playing golf." I said, "Yeah." He said, "We do it too. We put the clubs on the bottom of the bus and we play golf." Yeah. And Bob Dylan comes over and says, are you guys talking about golf? And Willie says, yeah. And Bob Dylan goes, wow, that's outrageous. I said, no,
Ed
Bob,
loved a good
no,
golf
Bob.
game.
Nashville skyline was outrageous. This is just golf. But yeah,
That's
Did you
Valerie.
ever
I don't
play
know if
with
you.
Ed? Any chance you ever played with Ed? Because Ed loved playing golf.
I did. We once
You
played
did?
in the tournament. That dang VH1 thing, I think it was, or no, what am I saying? Yeah, not VH1. The
MTV?
Yeah, MTV tournament in Vegas. Yeah, yeah.
And you played with
You
him?
know,
Oh,
Ed was the greatest guy ever. He was such a good guy.
he was. He had a good heart.
Oh man,
Uh,
he was so good.
I, I
Such a
think
good
you.
guy.
I think you might be one of those really good guys.
He
You know,
is. You are, Huey.
the moment we had you on set, the moment we became friends, my whole life got a lot better. I would
That's
like
sweet.
to, Val, we have a couple moments for a couple more questions. If you have anything from the chat that anybody else want to ask Huey anything about, maybe Walking on a Thin Line or some of my favorite songs.
I'm looking through the questions, see if there is. It's just Johnny and Melanie chatting now. Oh, they used our stage names. Let's see if
So
there's anybody else in the chat wants to ask Huey anything. Oh, someone saw you in Vegas a few years ago. Awesome show. They loved it. Do you,
Another person with excellent musical taste.
yes.
Well, it's all good if there
Are
aren't
you
any
guys going to
really
do the podcast how often does it appear? Once a week?
The podcast appears once a week on Valerie's Place. We're filming some more episodes next week. It's when we can get together, when we can get amazing guests like yourself to actually,
Well, but
have
you're
time for
great,
it.
Valerie, because you're an open book, and
Pretty much,
that's a
right?
wonderful thing.
Thank you, Huey.
It's also rare, so it works great, and you draw that out of the people you talk to and converse with. You bring that, and that's the way they are.
Thank you, Huey. Oh God, I just
yeah.
adore you. We
It's
just opened up a whole brand new thing on Valerie's Place too. We have our community boards finally open. It's something I've been wanting to do since we first opened up. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to want to talk about this, chat with you. And everybody here, you can go to our live chats and talk about Huey in the music category, any category, just because. Huey, do you have any idea how well loved you are? Like, do you feel it? Do you get
What?
it?
Don't embarrass me.
When
No,
it's
go ahead,
true.
embarrass me.
Like, I never hear a bad thing about you. I've had the greatest experience to be able to work with you. But like, you have that reputation. Like Huey Lewis, he's a stand-up guy. Like, do you feel it from the rest of us how much we love you?
I do from there's a few monitor mixers out there. They're probably I may not be their favorite, but no, I try.
But I get that. I mean, as someone who was married to a musician and someone who gave birth to a musician, I get the monitors. That's the hardest part, man. When you find a good monitor guy, for people that don't know, the monitors are your in-ears. And they're what the musicians listen to. That's where the click track is. That's where all the stuff is, to where that keeps the show going, correct? And if your in-ears are off and you're hearing too much guitar, or you're hearing too much bass, or not enough drums, or whatever, or the drums too echoey, like that can really throw off your show, can it not?
Yeah, absolutely. You're at the mercy of your monitor guy, because what you hear in here is a mix of all the instruments and all the voices and all that stuff. So that relationship, you has to sound good to you, and a great monitor mixer knows what you want after a while. He knows,
And
Eddie likes this, and they can set up a mix without you even being there, and then you put it in your ears and it's good. So yeah, monitor mixers, everything.
But isn't it weird that, I mean, and this is what's so difficult about a monitor mixer's job. I'm sorry for people that aren't into this, but this is like actually interesting to me. But that each performer on stage has a different mix. Like you want a different mix. So this monitor mixer not only is concerned about your mix, but he's concerned about the drummer's mix, the bass player's mix, the guitar player's mix, the background singer's mixes. Like it's a
You
complicated
know,
job.
we can talk about this, but it's not a pleasant subject, and I'll tell you why. Because bands used to have a personality. Okay, a band, you could listen to the band play music without any singing at all, and there'd be a personality to that music based on how the drummer's style and the drums that he uses and the guitar player and the guitars that he uses, and everybody sounded different. Today, there's no personality to the bands anymore. They're all elected. Everybody's got Pro Tooled. Everything's in time and in tune,
Wait,
and everything's on a click track, and you know, and so that's a tough deal.
Time out. Have you seen my son's band?
No, but they just play. They really play, right?
They really play. I mean, Wolfie plays all the instruments. He can't do it live, obviously. He does it for his records. But
I know
these
about the band,
musicians
obviously.
are amazing. Like all of his musicians, they play live. There are no backing tracks. There are no tracks whatsoever. Yeah, I think they're one of the few bands left. I was just watching Alter Bridge. He opened for Alter Bridge where were we? We were in Cardiff. Alter Bridge also the same thing. They don't use backing tracks. So there are still a few bands out there that don't use any tracks.
Well, that's right. But you're proving my point. That's rare.
Yeah,
today.
Unfortunately.
That used to be the norm. That's all we did. We went out and played.
Because I think that's the whole point of a live show is you want to hear the differences from the record. You want to hear the live version. You want to hear how they sound a little bit different, how they're doing something a little bit different. You want to hear mistakes. You want to hear the off, you know, I think that's what you go to a live. You don't go to a live show to hear the record in front of you, in my opinion.
But you're a sophisticated listener, and that's exactly right. You want to hear the interplay between the musicians, the synergy that happens. That's the fun part. And that's why, you know, all that New Orleans stuff is so much fun, because it's such a gumbo of different beats and rhythms and polyrhythms and stuff. It's, you know, but yeah, hearing the interplay. And you know what's interesting, you listen to old records that are you know, like go listen to like an old Elvis record or something, and you know what they did in those days is they like, That's All Right, Mom. They cut it for all day long. They cut it like 15 times. Then they went to lunch. They cooked it another 5 times. Then they took the one where his vocal performance was the best, because they had to capture it all at once. And if somebody dropped a stick or they hit a bad note, so be it. And that's why it's kind of interesting when you listen to old records. The vocal is always way out front and fabulous, and then there's some other stuff in there, you know, that's kind of different. And because they had to capture it all at once. Then of course the technology of music is amazing. What's happened since from 8-track to cassettes to vinyl, rather, to cassettes to CDs to files to finally just making it up in Pro Tools. It's just crazy what's happened, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think it's kind of robbed the feeling of what I enjoy. There's no better or worse of this stuff, you know. But for me, I like to feel the energy and the synergy of the band, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
that was an interesting little offshoot for me. So I love that kind of stuff.
Now all I'm going to be doing at a concert is looking at these guys wondering.
You know what you're talking about, you know.
I can't
play
an instrument. I can't sing for shit, but I love listening to it. And I think I picked a few things up from Ed and from Wolfie, but doesn't mean I can sing.
That's the way. You've been around musicians all your life, so you get it.
What did you say, Todd?
I won't be able to go to a concert the same way ever again. Now I'm just going to be looking at these guys, wondering why they don't do it like we used to do it.
Yeah.
Well, having said that, there's a technical reason, and that's how it started. And that is when we play in enormous venues, they're not made for music. face it. It's just
That's true.
the ceilings are it's like it's
Very
roaring.
echoey.
So if you're trying to mic a snare drum, it's already hearing ambience. So if you trigger a drum, it starts at the speakers, like,
Yeah.
and therefore it's much more, easier to hear, less wet and diffused. So there's a technical reason to do it, And
Yeah,
Well,
these arenas were built for sports events. They weren't built for,
Yeah.
I noticed, and I
exactly.
actually, to my ear, which isn't the best, but I can actually notice when the sound is really great in the room, and when it's not, when it's super echoey and you can't make out the vocals or the guitar. It's fascinating to watch all of Wolf, because I've been to a ton of Wolfie shows, ton of Van Halen shows, blah blah blah, but I can see when he's having a really good show, because of the ambient audio, and I can also tell when he's having a not so great show. But you never know up his face, because every show for him, he puts his all out there. But it's interesting to see how echoey some arenas can be.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the sound is everything, and how it sounds to you is everything. They say, do you like big venues or small venues? Or, well, yeah, smaller venues usually sound better. I mean, if you get small enough venue, you can pull all this junk out and just play and listen to the amps and stuff, but some big venues sound great,
Yeah.
weirdly
Yeah.
enough, and some small ones don't sound very good. So there's no formula for that, but hearing what you hear is everything. It influences how well you play and also how much fun you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, guys, it's this time. If I don't wrap this up soon, Huey's gonna put my name. He's gonna change my name in his phone to Wet and Diffused. So,
Huey, thank
this
you for giving
man,
us your time today. I so enjoyed spending this hour with you, or this 45 minutes with you. I've missed you, buddy. I'm so glad you're doing well and enjoying yourself and have an amazing golf tournament. It made my heart happy a little bit to know that you've played with Ed, so you do know Ed. No, I miss you, buddy.
Thanks, you're sweet. Great seeing you both, and good luck with the podcast. A lot of fun. Didn't hurt a bit.
Okay,
Thanks.
good.
not yet, and you just, you know what, you are the soundtrack of so many people's lives. So we are so grateful that you are on our first live episode of Still Hot in Cleveland, and we wouldn't have had it any other way.
No. Thanks,
Great.
Huey.
All right. See you guys. Hope
Bye,
to see you
everybody.
soon. Love you. Cheers.